All right, so we got baby hairs just flying everywhere today. We have, my bedding is just completely undone. Please ignore that. It is laundry day. But I'm really excited about today's topic, so let's get into it. So March is Endometriosis Awareness Month. Did I know this? No. Do I have endometriosis? Yes. And so I decided, even though it is very much the end of the month, to do a video about how I manage my endometriosis pain. I've talked a lot about my story. You all kind of, if you've been here for a while, have followed along on my endometriosis journey from when I first ended up in the emergency room with excruciating pain to when I got my laparoscopy surgery, and then when I was dealing with severe depression and suicidal thoughts from medication, endometriosis medication. And I haven't really done an update since then on how I manage my endometriosis pain, because when it was at its worst, I was in 10 out of 10 pain. And now I would say on good days is down to 1 out of 10 pain. And some days I don't even notice it. And that's pretty incredible. So I wanted to go through the things that I do to help manage my pain. So let's get into it. Also, I have a Substack, as most of you know, and I have put together an article format of this video. So if you'd rather just read what I'm going to talk about, and if you want to read more the backstory of my endo story, I'm going to release a part 1, which is just my endo story, and then a part 2, which is a written format of my pain management technique. So I'm really excited to kind of have this more article format. I've not released anything like this on my Substack before, so go check it out if you want to support, if you want to read more, if you want to have like a reference for some of these pain management techniques. Go check it out. So what I'm going to start with first today is cupping. I was introduced to cupping by my pelvic floor physical therapist more than a year ago now. And she started doing cupping on my stomach for my abdominal pain, and it started helping my endo pain. Then I basically was like, I'm going to do this myself. And so now I cup my abdominal area every other day, and it has helped me so much. If I miss a cupping session, I can tell. And so I wanted to show you how I cup my stomach. So I have a cupping set. Fortunately, it was from Amazon. I don't love to support Amazon, but it wasn't that expensive. I think it was around 20 bucks. These aren't the best quality. When these break, I'm gonna invest in much better ones because they get stuck, and we've had to like literally put flour on this rubbery part to hold the suction in sometimes. But let me show you what I do to cup my stomach every other day for my endo pain. Actually, a little disclaimer before I get started. If you have never seen cupping before, I did a video on it a while ago, so maybe go check out that video. It looks insane. If you have never seen cupping before, it basically takes suction in these cups, and it takes your skin and your fat up into these cups, and it looks super crazy. The skin is very bulbous in there. It looks insane. Don't panic. Stay with me. I'm not exactly sure the best way to show you all this too, so let's try this out. So I'm usually sitting when I do this, but I felt uncomfortable sitting showing you because my fat rolls get bigger when I do that. So we're gonna do it standing. So the first thing you do is you attach your cup to your suction device. You can actually directly attach it. You don't need to use this cord, but it just makes it so much easier. And then you'll whip out your stomach. I feel very uncomfortable doing this on camera. I'm just gonna do 1 cup to show you all, and then do the rest myself and maybe show you the after. And then you literally just start pumping with the suction. And you can see it it really is very bulbous in there. I go as far as I can, usually about 5 pumps. That was a little bit more. And you can see it starts to get really red. So I'm gonna go cup the rest and show you once I have them all on me. So I am done. This is what it looks like. And I mix it up. So sometimes I have these 2 medium-sized ones here. Sometimes I put them here and put the small ones up here. I mix it up, and I do it every other day because you don't want to cup if you have bruises still from the day before. And I still have bruises the day after. So I leave these on for 5 minutes, and then I take them off. And then you need to wash your cups after you use them, because if you don't, that's gross. But yeah, it is pretty insane looking, I'm not gonna lie. Like, super bulbous looking. Now, while these are sitting, I'm gonna tell you about the other things that I have been doing to help my endometriosis pain. Let me go set my timer for 4 minutes now, because it's been about a minute that we've been talking. So the way that I also control my pain through medication, the only medication I take for pain is a birth control, norethindrone. And I used to be on a higher dose of 10 milligrams per day. That was giving me negative thoughts, just a negative outlook. I could not get out of a negative mindset. And I'm a very positive person. So I decreased to 5 and I take it straight through. I do not have a period. Another thing I do is acupuncture. So I go to an acupuncturist every month to about every 3 weeks. Since I have been doing that, it has helped me so much. It is like a spiritual experience when I go to this acupuncturist. It is really, really incredible. I go through a range of emotions during my treatment, and I love this acupuncturist because her treatments are pretty long. You have the needles in you for at least an hour, if not 70 minutes. It has been a really incredible experience. So acupuncture is another thing that I use for pain management, and my pain does increase a little bit if I miss that 3-week to 1-month window of seeing her. A more recent thing I've been doing is going to an osteomanual manipulation doctor, and he has been working on my abdominal area. He will like really intensely do a deep stomach massage and pelvic massage, and it hurts in that moment, but it has felt so much better since he started doing that. Another thing that has been very interesting, and I'm still experimenting with this, is that I noticed that when I had cream cheese for breakfast every morning, like in a row, like every day, I could tell that my endo pain increased. And I've not noticed this for all dairy. I love dairy, so I have a little bit of dairy usually every day. I haven't noticed this for other forms of dairy, but this is something that if my pain ever really got bad again, I would definitely experiment with. My pain, like I said, is down to about a 1 a day, so I don't really want to give up dairy to take it to a 0, if that would be the one thing that helped me take it to a 0, because I absolutely... Oh, our time is up for the cupping. So you basically just pop them off. Let me show you here. You literally just go whoop, and it releases the suction, and then you have these crazy cupping marks. If you don't cup this frequently, you can have some pretty intense bruises. This does not look that bad. What was I talking about? Oh, dairy. Yeah, so at some point, if I really wanted to mess with that, I could. I do not want to give up dairy, so I'm absolutely not messing with that. Now, the other thing that I have been doing is this Qigong. So this is Qigong exercise called 4 energy gates. Originally I was like, I can't do this because I can't touch my stomach. My whole abdominal area was so painful at that point that nothing would touch my stomach. With my endo pain, I had to switch out all of my clothing so that nothing was tight around my whole abdominal area or my pelvis. If one of my cats walks across my stomach, I'm like, that is really, really, really painful. Their little paws are little pressure points, and it really hurts. So originally I was like, I can't do this 4 energy gates exercise because you actually are supposed to be tapping your stomach. She said, you don't actually have to touch your stomach, just do this in the air. So let me show you one of the 4 energy gates. There's 4 of them. I do all of them, but one of them is the one that specifically helps my endo pain. So let me show you. All right, I'm gonna do this standing up again. So you want to identify your belly button. This is my belly button. And you want to take 4 fingers and go 4 fingers under your belly button. And then this is the spot you want to aim for. So it's kind of right above your pelvis, right below your abdominal area, in between the 2. And then what they do is they tap on the area. I don't touch the area. I just go like this right above the area without touching it. And I do that for 5 minutes. And I know it sounds insane, but when I first started doing that and I had fire in my stomach, abdominal pain, like that's how it felt. It was like this burning pain. It would cool the fire. I would do it and the fire would cool. It like blew my mind. It's just insanity to me. And so I started doing that every day. And again, I can tell if I miss one. If I don't do one in my day, I can tell. And the pain starts to become a little bit more of a fire again. So this is what I've been using for my pain management with my endometriosis. And so far, fingers crossed, knock on wood, whatever, this is working. And I know that the body changes all the time. So at any point, this could change and I could have to go back to the drawing board and figure out something new to help my pain management. But at this point in time, this is working for me. And I think what's really important with endometriosis is that you find what works for you. And I hope this story, one, if you have endo, it gives you hope. that like pain relief is possible, because there is no cure for endometriosis. It is symptom management for the rest of your life. And I think that the pain can become so bad, it is one of the 20 most painful conditions in the world, that people give up hope of finding relief. And I want people to have hope that there are things out there that you can find to manage it that work for you. For me, I was not recommended these things necessarily by any of the doctors. I went out and found them on my own and then pieced them together into this routine, into this pain management system that works for me. And something that is important is just finding what works for you. So for example, with the cupping, I'm doing static cupping on my stomach right now, which means that you do the cupping and you leave the suction in place where it is. There's something called dynamic cupping, which is something actually that I am exploring on my cheeks for my TMJ pain. And dynamic cupping, you take like lotion, or I'm taking Blue Emu, and I'll put it there, and then you actually move it around on your face or on wherever it is on your body, and you can actually tell the places that get more red are the places that have more restriction, and you want it to be in that area for a little bit longer, and then you tend to not get bruises when you're doing dynamic cupping as well. And so that's something I'm gonna experiment with on my stomach. I'm a little nervous to experiment because the static cupping has been helping, but I'm like, what if the dynamic cupping, doing it every day, would take my pain down to 0? Who knows, right? So I am always continuing to try new things, but maybe for you, static cupping won't help, but dynamic cupping would. So that's what I'm talking about, of kind of piecemealing together the things that work best for you. And I think too, I really want this video to be for people who might know someone with endometriosis. You could send this video to them, be like, hey, here's some pain management techniques, maybe they'll work for you, but also just understanding more. And I go into more depth and detail on my endometriosis journey on that Substack article, the first one that's gonna come out. And the link is below for all this too. I think that it can be really hard to watch somebody you love go through so much pain with endometriosis as well. So this can help people kind of understand what we go through to manage our pain. So I hope this gives you hope to try new things for endo, and you know, even if these things don't work for you, not giving up hope to find pain relief. There are so many things out there to try. This is currently working for me, and if things change, then I will go back and look for more things and maybe continue updating you on my journey in the future. But this is really working for me right now, and I am so grateful, because I was in so much pain. I was in daily pain, and then I was having monthly pain, which we thought was during my ovulation cycle. And that ovulation pain has gone away, and the daily pain has gone down to 1, like I said. So I'm really grateful how my pain journey has gone. I'm working on other pain things right now, like my TMJ, and I have bursitis in my hip, and there's just all this other stuff going on. But with my endo pain, I feel like I have it managed, and I'm really grateful for that. So I hope this video was helpful. Feel free to share this video to raise awareness about endometriosis. And again, like I said, maybe this video could help somebody who you know who has endometriosis maybe try one of these pain management techniques, because some of them are pretty accessible and easy for you to just do at home and explore. Go check out my Substack if those articles would be interesting or helpful for you, or you know, maybe easier to share with people as well. And I will see you in the next video, my friends. Thanks for being here, and happy Endometriosis Awareness Month.